Hi there, this is Jeff, and I'm going to go over how to get the artwork ready for the 10 foot wide by 8 foot tall Axis back wall display. And so what I'm going to do to start out with is I'm going to just simply drag the template into Photoshop. And as this opens up, it's important to point out this is actually a full-size template, and so you don't need to resize anything. This is actually going to be the exact size. You can see if we go to image and image size, it's already at 124 inches wide and approximately 96 inches tall. The other thing to point out is you want the resolution to be 125 dpi, which it is right here, and that is because it is full size being printed out in large format. And so once you have that, you want to also check that it's going to be in CMYK color mode, which you can see over here it is. If it's in RGB, for some reason the template opens in RGB, go ahead and switch that over to CMYK. So now to go ahead and get started, you can go ahead and actually design literally right on top of the template. Just keep the template as its own separate layer. So on the right hand side, so as you begin adding in your logos and your text and pictures, just keep all those separate layers because when you're all done, you're actually going to delete or hide this template layer altogether before flattening and saving it. So to point out the die lines here, the blue, so on the very outer edge is going to be the actual bleed. And so you want to go ahead and extend any background that you have all the way to the very outer edges of the left side, the right side, the top, and the bottom. However, keep all important information well within the pink line. This is actually where it's going to get cut. And so that's stitched and sewn. And the green line represents kind of the safe area. So you would know that if you had a logo, if it's inside the green dotted line, you know that's going to be safe and it's not going to be too close to the edge and definitely is not going to be cut off. But go ahead and extend the background all the way to the very outer edge and that will be good. So to get started, you can go to File and Place, and you can just browse in your folders and begin dropping in all of your design assets, so your logos and everything. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to show you an example of some artwork that fits the template well, and I will show you that right now. Okay, so here's an example of some artwork that fits the template really well. And I know that because if I go over to the artwork layer and I just right click on it and I go to blending options, I can actually move the opacity down a little bit on the artwork and it will reveal the template right underneath it. So this is a really nice way of checking to make sure that the logo is within this green line. Any of the visible picture part I want is within the green line if there was text, etc. Once you have that, you can go ahead and cancel. And then at this point, usually what I recommend doing is zooming in to just double check your resolution of any photos or logos or images. And you can do that by pressing Control and plus or Command and plus using a Mac. And you can just kind of zoom in until about 1 inch equals 1 inch in real life. So here's the ruler bar, here's 60 inches, here's 61 inches. And I can use the navigator tool and just start combing around and just making sure that the logo looks good, the resolution looks good on everything. Once you've done that, you can press Control and minus to zoom back out or Command and minus. And at this point, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and save a copy of your working layered file. And so if you need to make any changes now or in the future, you can do that. And so now that you're ready to go ahead and save it, we can delete the template layer. So we're all done with that. We don't need it anymore, and we can just simply click and drag and delete it. So one final step before saving it is you want to go to Layer and then click Flatten. And that's just going to compress all the layers together so that you just have your final artwork. And this is going to be the document that we use to print off of. And at this point, what you can do is you can go to File and just go to Save As. And you want to go ahead and just save it on your computer, and just make sure to save it as a PDF is usually the recommended file format, and make sure that it is a high quality PDF. And that should be it. If for some reason it doesn't allow you to save it as a PDF, you are more than welcome to save it as a large Photoshop document file. It's usually a .psb, and that will work just fine as well. So that is going to be the file that you're going to want to upload, and Hope this video helps. Thanks a lot.